This is 14mm round 1018 mild steel. Lately, for a couple of customers' orders that required high-strength tongs, I use this W1 steel, which is pretty expensive because it's precision milled or precision ground. And I've also switched to using this 52-100, which is bearing steel, and it's cheaper, but boy oh boy is that stuff hard to hammer. So today's tong is Farrier style, but since it's a forging tong, I'm using the 1018, which is my preference. You can be quenched over and over again without cracking. That other stuff, especially the 52-100, wouldn't last long if you were quenching it in water. It would definitely crack. So this tong is part of an order for a good friend of the channel, James Dunn. I wasn't sure what to do for this week's video, and since James is a big supporter, I figured when in doubt, make a tong. I also need to give a shout out to two guys for their recent generous donations. They are Stephen Watkins and Bill Grinley. Thanks a lot, fellas. By the way, if anyone places an order and would like a small length of that 52-100 steel to fool around with, maybe make a knife or whatever, just let me know. So the short jaws, coupled with the depressions, makes this style tong hold flats better than most any other flat tongs in my opinion. If anyone wanted this style specifically for farrier work and not general forging, and wanted them made out of the 52-100 steel, I can do that. I just have to charge a little extra for the extra hammering required. I've been finding this little slitter I made from an old punch very useful. I think I'll make myself another, minus that hole that's in the middle. This is not that slitter, this is a small round drift. So I use this setup here to make rivets, and I showed this in an earlier video, maybe a few weeks back. Not all rivet heads come out the way I want, and it's impossible to use this setup a second time, due to the shank upsetting just a little bit below the head. I found this small length of heavy pipe, and the opening is perfect. It'll allow me to refine the rivet heads while keeping the shank off of the anvil face so that the shank doesn't further upset. Anyway, I'll show that in detail in an upcoming video. I've been getting a lot of good use out of my fixed pivot, no rivet Tong. In addition to the Farrier flat style, James also has the blade style tong next to it. For knife making, these two styles complement each other well. The blade style here holds mainly according to width, whereas the Farrier flat holds only according to thickness. With the Farrier flat style, less is more. Pressure is inversely proportional to the area of contact, so when the contact area is less, the pressure is more. We've got a lot more fooling around to do.